You know how sometimes you just want to really get into a topic, understand it properly, but without wading through tons of dense text?
Right, like a focused look.
Exactly. And that's what you're doing today. We've got this really interesting chance to do that with a special look inside Graceland.
Absolutely. It's happening over Memorial Day weekend, actually. So May 23rd to the 26th, Graceland's rolling out something totally new.
Oh.
Yeah, they're calling them Private Presley tours. And these aren't, the standard run-through. They are zeroed in on Elvis Presley's time in the U.S. Army.
Okay, that is different. So our source here is the official announcement from Graceland itself.
Straight from the source.
And our plan, our mission for this deep dive is to unpack what makes these tours unique, what they might tell us about Elvis's Army days, and how that all ties back to Graceland, his home, and the timing again.
Each day, May 23rd to 26th, running from 2:00 p.m. to 4 p.m.
Got it. And what really struck me is that this is like the first time ever that Graceland has done tours specifically about his Army service.
Yeah, that's significant. It makes you wonder what kind of new angles they'll explore.
Totally. So what's the main focus? How are they doing this?
Well, what seems really intriguing is how they're weaving it into the actual Graceland Mansion tour.
Oh, okay.
The announcement says live guides will be sharing specific stories about his service, 1958 to 1960, while you're actually in the mansion.
Okay, so picture this. You're like walking through Graceland, maybe the living room or somewhere.
Right.
And the guide tells the story about Elvis getting his draft notice. Right there at Christmas, 1957.
Wow. Yeah. Talk about a mood changer for the holidays.
Right. And then maybe you're near his father's office and you hear about his homecoming press conference happening in that office. I mean, that really connects the global superstar back to his family, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. It grounds those huge life events in a really personal space.
Puts a different spin on it.
And they're also adding special artifact displays just for the weekend related to his Army time inside the mansion.
Oh, okay. So not just stories, but actual items there, too.
Exactly. So you see the artifacts in the context of his home during that specific weekend. It feels more connected than just seeing them in a museum case somewhere else,
Yeah, that makes sense. It adds a layer. But the Army story doesn't end at the mansion door, does it?
No, not at all. The Private Presley tour ticket, it also gets you into Elvis Presley's Memphis.
Right, the big entertainment complex across the street.
Exactly. And over there, you can spend more time with his military story at the permanent Private Presley exhibit.
Okay, so there's a permanent exhibit dedicated to this already.
Yes, and that lets them go into, well, a lot more detail. They have things like his actual Army fatigues, his dress uniforms.
So they can see the actual uniforms.
Yeah, and even his Army footlocker, his suitcases from that time. Seeing those tangible things, it gives you a very real sense of his day-to-day during those couple of years.
Yeah, that makes it less abstract. You can almost picture him packing that footlocker or wearing those fatigues. But it's crucial to understand this Private Presley tour ticket. It's not only about the Army focus, right? It's the whole Graceland shebang.
Oh, absolutely. That's a key point. You're getting the full Graceland experience. The ticket still includes the standard Graceland Mansion tour.
Which is iconic in itself.
Totally. Plus, you get the self-guided tours of his airplanes, the Lisa Marie, and the Hound Dog Q.
It's cool to see those jets.
Definitely. And full access to the whole Elvis Presley's Memphis entertainment complex. So yeah, it's comprehensive.
And that complex is pretty packed with stuff, isn't it? For anyone maybe not familiar, what else is over there?
Oh, it's huge. You've got the Presley Motors Automobile Museum, lots of amazing cars.
Love the car museum.
Yeah, it's great. Then there's the Elvis, the Entertainer Career Museum, which is massive and covers his whole journey. And they mentioned the Dress to Rock exhibit inside has been recently refreshed.
Oh, good to know.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Sure. There's also the 90 for 90 exhibit, the Icon S exhibit looking at his influence, and the Lisa Marie Growing Up Presley exhibit, too. It's a lot. You could spend a whole day just there.
Definitely sounds like it. Okay, so practical stuff. If someone's listening and thinking, yeah, I want to do this, how do they get tickets?
Best bet is online. The announcement points everyone to Graceland.com to buy tickets in advance.
Right. Probably safer than just showing up.
Yeah, they say you might be able to get them at the ticket office, but it's all based on availability. So booking ahead online is the way to go, especially for a special timed tour like this.
Makes sense. And any info for military folks? Discounts, maybe?
Yes, good question. They do mention that Graceland offers military discounts, so definitely ask about that when you're buying tickets.
Okay, good. And what if people want to make a weekend of it? stay nearby.
Well, the guest house at Graceland is right there, super convenient.
Right next door, basically.
Pretty much. And they mentioned a summer savings offer currently, like 20% off stays. Plus, they have a free shuttle that runs back and forth to the mansion and complex. Makes it easy.
Okay, so that's practicalities covered. Let's just zoom out for a second. Why do you think focusing on this Army period at Graceland specifically is kind of a big deal? What's the deeper significance?
Well, I think what's really fascinating is seeing this larger-than-life figure, Elvis the King, through this completely different filter. You know, a time of Army discipline, maybe a bit of anonymity compared to his usual life.
Yeah, Private Presley, not King Presley.
Exactly. It lets you connect with him as a person who went through this, well, fairly normal, structured experience for a young man at the time. And you get to think about how that might have shaped him when he returned to his absolutely extraordinary life.
How did it change him, right?
Right. And how did that experience blend with his feelings about Graceland, about home? It adds this whole other dimension to his identity.
That's a really good way to put it. It's easy to just see the jumpsuit and the stage, but this was a major detour in his life.
A huge one. And understanding that period, it really gives you a more complete picture of the man, you know? It wasn't just music and movies. This Army stint was significant. It likely affected his outlook, his choices later on, maybe even his relationship with fame itself.
Adds that layer of complexity beyond the standard story we always hear.
Definitely. Goes beyond the typical narrative.
Okay, so let's try and wrap this up then. For anyone listening, the key takeaway is Graceland is offering these special Private Presley tours over Memorial Day weekend.
May 23rd to 26th.
Right, May 23rd to 26th between 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. daily. You get guided stories about his Army years inside the mansion itself.
Plus those special artifact displays just for the weekend.
Enhanced by the permanent Private Presley exhibit across the street. And it's all part of a ticket that still gives you the full Graceland experience. Mansion, jets, complex, the works.
It really sounds like a unique opportunity, seeing that part of his life unfold, metaphorically speaking, right there in his home.
Yeah, definitely. So here's something to think about after listening. What can Elvis's time in the Army and then coming back home to Graceland tell us about the actual person behind that massive icon?
Or maybe how does seeing things like his fatigues or his footlocker right there in the context of Graceland change how you perceive his military service? Does it make it feel different?
Good questions. If any of this has caught your interest, definitely check out Graceland.com for all the details and ticket information.